In the Washington Free Beacon, I haven't seen this in too many places, but it's something I've been thinking about, actually. Experts on Capitol Hill yesterday warned that an electromagnetic pulse, EMP, an EMP attack aimed at the nation's electrical grid could leave the majority of Americans dead. Now, don't get all conspiracy. No, I want you to listen to this. This was a House hearing. The hearing, electromagnetic pulse or EMP, threat to critical infrastructure, before the House Homeland Security Committee Subcommittee on Cybersecurity Infrastructure. Why do they have 12 names in the title? Whatever it is. Explored the effects an EMP would have. Some would say it's low probability, but the damage that could be caused in the event of an EMP attack, both by the sun, a solar event, or a man-made attack, would be catastrophic, said Representative Michael McCall, Republican, Texas. This guy's no lightweight. We talk a lot about a nuclear bomb in Manhattan and cybersecurity threat to the power grid in the Northeast, and all these things would actually probably pale in comparison to the devastation that an EMP attack could perpetrate on Americans. Have you ever heard of this before? If you haven't, you really need to listen up. Representative Trent Franks, Republican, Arizona, who's worked to raise awareness on the issue for years, testified during the first panel that catastrophic civilian casualties could result unless Congress acts. An overload of radio waves to electric systems, an EMP, could result from a natural disaster, such as a solar storm or a terrorist attack. Frank said every single facet of modern human life would be crippled by such an event. It strikes at my very core when I think the men, women, and children in cities and rural towns across America with the possibility of no access to food, water, or transportation. In other words, the entire electrical grid is gutted and is down, and nothing can be done to bring it up. I'm not talking about a community here, a community there. We're talking about the whole damn thing shutting down. Think about it. Zero electricity for months. That's what they're talking about. Franks told the Washington Free Beacon that while the nation's critical defense assets, including nuclear defense capabilities, are currently protected against EMP, the civilian grid is almost entirely vulnerable. The civilian grid, in my judgment, is very vulnerable, he said. Some of the largest transformers, the very largest ones, have an inherent resistance to all but the more intense electromagnetic pulses. But the fact is, we have enough of those mid-range transformers where a major event would be catastrophic. Dr. Michael Frankel, a senior scientist at Pennsylvania State University, says Frank's bill, which would enable the Department of Homeland Security to implement practical steps to protect the electric grid, is a necessary first step for the defense of the grid. It only has 19 co-sponsors so far. This isn't even an expensive thing to address. The issue is an urgent one, said Dr. Peter Pry, a member of the Congressional EMP Commission and executive director of the Task Force on National and Homeland Security. Natural EMP from a geomagnetic superstorm like the 1859 Carrington event or 1921 railroad storm, and nuclear EMP attack from terrorists or rogue states, as practiced by North Korea during the nuclear crisis in 2013, are both existential threats that could kill 9 of 10 Americans through starvation, disease, and societal collapse. Here's what I want you to imagine. Every hospital goes dark. Every refrigerator is out. Trains can't move. Planes can't fly. Even generators, those of you who have generators in your home, if they're not protected, they fail. Every aspect on the electrical grid is down and down for month after month after month after month. It would be a complete and utter disaster. And what some of these people are trying to do and say, and there's only a handful who are really trying to raise their voices and get something done, is basic things can be done today that are not terribly expensive to protect us from this, from a solar storm, from a nuclear attack, from other attacks on the grid, and almost nothing's being done.